on the Irish road to Cheltenham.
It's the toughest sport in the world, not for the faint-hearted. Winning is everything. Losing is not an option. For the lucky few, the risks, the sacrifice, the physical challenge will lead to that special horse and a chance to compete at Cheltenham, the world's most prestigious jump festival. This is the story of the Irish jump jockey on the road to Cheltenham. It's 7 a.m, Wednesday morning in November. Irish champion jockey Davy Russell has travelled to trainer Gordon Elliott's yard for the morning ride-out.
Actually, leave Karen off riding out, and Dave, you use Karen's saddle because it's a better saddle.
Which one is me, Gordon? Toner? Or Don, is it?
Elliott is one of a number of trainers working for the mighty Gigginstown House stud, headed by Ryanair boss Michael O'Leary.
This stud is one of the most exciting horses we have at the moment. He's having his first run over jumps on Sunday in Navan.
With in excess of 150 horses spread around the country among various trainers, Davy's job as Gigginstown's retained jockey is to forge relationships with each of these animals.
This lad here makes it easy getting up in the morning.
I suppose this morning now we're going to give Don Cossack his school first. Just get his eye in for Sunday now this morning. Then all the young horses, all the 3-year-olds, the horses that were bought last year at the sales, this is their second day jumping today. We'll give them a pop over a few hurdles and just teach them to start off, you know.
A lot of good horses are starting to come out, so it's exciting times, you know. You keep the ball in one piece. Hopefully we've a nice bunch of horses, you know. Get to the level where Davy is, you have to work hard. I think this is maybe his third day sitting up in him. Davy wants to get to know the horse, and the two of them will knit well together, so I mean that's what it's all about. You're always looking to get the next superstar. I mean, we all dream about having Gold Cup horses or champion hurdle horses, and you never know, one of them babies out there could be one of them. Just to have Davy in and schooling them and give education them, it's worth stones, you know, at a later stage for the horse's career, you know.
Gonna start a revolution from Navan. She said to bring the heaven to me.
I'm sorry, I'm just probably not the best person to explain these things, but it's very easy to connect with a horse, and once they trust you, you know, they'll come into you, and it's nice to get that acknowledgement from an animal, you know. Not every animal is as kind as horses are, you know.
Having spent the first session riding out the more mature horses at the yard, Davy's next job is to school Gigginstown's future stars. Most of these 3-year-olds have never seen a racecourse, let alone jump a fence.
Annie, nice and steady now. Just leave Davy's going second.
Give Jamie a chance.
Nice and steady now.
Lads, you're going to have to keep walking. You're going to have to keep moving, or someone's going to get kicked. When I was turning professional, I thought this was going to be easy. Like, I thought it was going to be easier from when I was an amateur. But if anything, it gets harder. Well, you work harder, but the rewards are better. It's all about getting good quality horses.
After a long morning spent schooling some 15 horses, Davy updates the bosses at Gigginstown on progress, and focus turns to Don Cossack's upcoming race in Navan.
Oh, you have a chance, though. Jump's great.
Yeah, well, this morning was exciting because Don Cossack is making his seasonal debut at the weekend, and it's going to be my first time riding him on a race course on Sunday, so that will always excite you. You'd be hopeful that it'll be straightforward. That's in the ideal world.
As soon as a horse goes to the racecourse, they are handicapped according to their ability by carrying weight. This allows young, inexperienced horses to compete equally against older or successful ones. For jockeys to get to ride these younger horses, they need to be as light as possible. It's Sunday morning, and ahead of a busy card at Fairy House, Andrew McNamara needs to lose some weight for his first race.
The horse is carrying about 10.9. I'd want to be about 10.7 to do that weight, so 10.12 there. So I have about 5 pounds to lose. It's going to be 5 pounds of water, basically, you're going to be losing. You know, I'm not going to lose too much fat sitting in a bath, so I'm just dehydrating myself. People always ask this question, what's your natural weight and everything, which I think it's a bit of a stupid question. Like, once you're a healthy weight, you know, is that not your natural weight? You know, if I decided to eat bars of chocolates and McDonald's and cans of Coke every day, my natural weight could be 16 stone. Last night I had a small bit to eat and I had a meal replacement drink. It's meant to give you some nutrition, which is better than eating nothing, I suppose. Yeah, like if I'm not able to do 10.9, I may as well give up being a jockey. You know, there's so many rides going at that weight. You know, I used to ride a lot at 10 stone 4, but really it's too much effort and it's not good for you, and you don't ride at your best if you're that dehydrated. So probably the last 2 times I did 10 stone 4 were the Irish and English national, one year after the other. And after the English one I said, probably that's, you know, I'm gone beyond 10 stone 4, I don't think I can do it anymore. Yeah, they say a pound every 2 minutes, which is about 3 pounds an hour. So if I was going at that rate, I would an hour and 40 minutes, but I wouldn't advise any women to go sweating for losing weight. It's not a good way about it. You might look a little bit skinnier, but your face will look horrendous, so give it a miss.
Hailing from the seaside town of Youghal, champion jockey Davy Russell didn't exactly come from a traditional racing background.
There's a photograph of him now of his very first point win on Tallow, a horse called Spanish Castle. He gave that horse a brilliant ride. That he dropped that horse out and he came with a run in the finish. You must start somewhere, and your first winner is fierce important, because if you don't get your first winner, you won't get your second one.
Though the working week sees Davy crisscrossing the country, racing and schooling horses, every spare moment is spent back where he grew up, on the family farm.
That's what a champion jockey gets up to in his spare time.
This fella nice champion jockey.
Over there, though.
When I was trying to contain my weight in around 10 stone to 10.4, like that was a huge battle. I thought at the time it seemed to me that I was doing the right thing. I was a professional jockey. I wanted to ride in every race, and to do that I needed to be lighter. Look, at the time I was young and I was naive, and maybe not eat for a couple of days, and you overdo it as young people do. Like, you just don't know. But as you mature and you get older and you learn these things.
Well, David would go out in the morning without any cup of tea, and he mightn't arrive in till about 10:30, and he'd have his breakfast then, which
sometimes
might consist of a cup of tea.
He wouldn't have a breakfast. Did he have a breakfast? He had breakfast today now, for instance. I don't think he had.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I didn't see him eating much today now.
I didn't see him eating anything.
Come on.
His form would be very bad.
He'd be like a wasp. At times you wouldn't just cross him like. We wouldn't be, in his books, qualified enough to give him the advice on it. Where Eddie O'Leary or Michael O'Leary, who are his main employers, would be, because they couldn't put up with him being not right.
My weight has settled, and to be fair to Jigginstown, the one thing that they've stressed is that I don't do that anymore, and it has made a huge difference in my riding. And again, I just keep getting back to it. You ride good horses, you don't have to lose so much weight. And that's the key to it, really,
From the day he rode his first winner to the day he became champion national hunt jockey, that was 12 years.
I think it was the greatest thrill of our lives, because he was second 5 times, as far as I know.
Run up to Ruby Welch 5 times.
Yes, yeah.
He's leading this year now. He's leading for a long time, so hopefully if he keeps injury-free up to April, I think he have a great chance of winning it the second time. He is keyed in for it, and that's it. We know he's keyed in, but he doesn't talk about it.
Back in Clane, Andy Mack is coming to the end of his 2-hour sweat in the bath.
So that's 7.5, and it'll be a bit lighter for races, so it'll be exactly 10.7, so that'll do me.
Most of the modern day fellas go to dietitians and they tell them what they should eat. Most of them are very well educated. 99% of them have done their leaving certs and they know all about everything else. You think that they were a bunch of gobshites, that they were losing weight. That's all. That's history. That does not happen at all. Most of them eat perfectly. If the whole nation ate like jockeys ate, there'll be none of this obese, the one thing and the other is. They know exactly what they're doing. They know the right food to eat. They know when to have a drink. They have a bottle of beer and whatever they have to have. They don't eat ice cream. They don't stuff themselves with chocolate. Now, some fellas have a bigger physique and they have to ride at 10 stone 7. And if they let themselves go, they'd be 11 7 or 12 stone. But that's a problem we all face. We are all too bloody heavy, most of us. We're all overweight, except nobody has to stand in the scale and say, you should be 10 7.
Having to lose 5 pounds in 2 hours just to go to work is a major sacrifice in any game. If his morning spent sweating is to pay off, Andy will need to win. At Fairyhouse Races, it's time for the off. Jockey Andrew McNamara has sweated out 5 pounds in weight in order to forge a relationship with exciting newcomer Brogue Jas. If his sacrifice is to be worth it, only a victory will do.
It is Dayrina still in front. Brogue Jas moves on the inside to join our Connor, racing up in front of the stands and beginning now to race into the bend to swing right-handed up towards 3 from home. And it is Brogue Jas on the inside joining our Connor.
The pair battle hard early on in the race. Coming into the final turn, Andy leads.
Brogue Jas, Andrew McNamara on the inside of our Connor at the second last, and our Connor lands in the lead, being followed now by Stockton's Wing on the near side of Brogue Jas.
But by the last, Brogue Jas fades fast. This time, Andy's wasting is for nothing.
Final 150 yards, and our Connor and Brian Cooper from Stockton's Wing as they go towards the finish.
He finished fourth. He faded away to him, you know. Probably didn't think coming here he was as good as our Connor, but I was hoping he'd put up a bit of a fight.
On his next race, Andy finds himself up against regular trainer Shark Hanlon, who is running Muraku, a horse Andy has won on twice before. Even though he has already sweated out 5 pounds, Andy is unable to get to the weight Muraku is allowed to carry today, so he has had to break up a winning partnership.
Final fence now, and it's Muraku. Give us a hand and spot the boss. The 3 are going to rise absolutely together at it.
At the sharp end of the race, Shark's horse Muraku fights out a dramatic finish.
Give us a hand and spot the boss. They're racing up towards the line. It's going to be a head bobber as they hit the line. Give us a hand in the centre. On the near side is Muraku and Spot.
The Shark's horse wins, but unfortunately Andy's mount is forced to pull up. It's a frustrating end to a tough day.
Muraku win is probably a good omen for the Sharks yard that his horses are well and healthy. They had been a little under the weather for a while. Today he did a lightweight, which I wasn't able to do, so Mark Genright came in for the ride and gave him a good ride, got him up.
It's 6 months since Andrew Lynch broke his femur in a fall at Cork races. But with an exciting season ahead, partnering his Cheltenham Gold Cup hopeful Flemenstar, Andrew has been working hard to get himself fully fit. Today he's back with his surgeon to see how his bones are healing.
So the muscle is still not up to where it should be on this leg?
It was coming up though. It's gone back down in the last couple of weeks.
Just bend up the hip for me again. Any discomfort with that?
No.
Okay, let it down here again.
I think people admire him because I know they watch him inside the ring. They're only all in their 20s, young, hardy fellas, like, and you hear about the fellas getting broke. And everybody in life, unless you've led a very sheltered life, has broken something at some stage. But you see these fellas, a broken leg or a broken collarbone or a broken arm, and then you read about them 3 weeks later. They're due to ride again.
Okay, and you get dressed up there again now, and I'll send you down for an x-ray.
I'm walking better in my clothes, but when I'm riding out, people will be saying here, I'm still very crippled.
It's not long enough yet, I told you that. Anyway, go down and get the x-ray and I'll talk to you when you come back up.
All they think about from that day forward is when can I get back on that horse? When can I get back into the thick of that action? When can I put my neck on the chopping block again and get the same buzz out of it? Not too many fellas in normal life are like that.
You know, most jump jockeys, if they get to 35, they've done well, because you're getting hopped off the ground so many times that it obviously has to, you know, play with your mind, and, you know, you've kids, whatever, you know, you have to think of the future as well. So when you're getting hopped off that ground, a lot of the times it does mess with your head a little bit.
The fracture here, Andrew, is looking better all the time. It's still not complete. You can see there's still a bit of a line there. Because of the discomfort you're getting around your hip, I think we should get an MRI scan of your hip. Okay? It's not urgent, and it can be done whenever suits you to get it done.
I can get that done here or for
Kappa.
Kappa.
Okay, but in the meantime, you can just keep going and there's nothing to stop you riding away, and I'll see you in January.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
He's had a fair number of injuries. So have any of the fellas that are riding at the level he's at. They always just want to get back, and it's amazing how quickly they recover because of their positive attitude to getting back.
The perils of jump racing are nothing new for the Lynch family, as Andrew has followed in his father's footsteps.
I suppose my best day ever was when I won the Galway Hurl in 1977 on a favourite horse of mine called Paddy Bowler. Nearly with the atmosphere and all, at my time anyway, we used to say it was a second Cheltenham. So that was great to win that day. Now, this is one of the darker sides of jump racing. It was the Irish Grand National in 1978. And I was riding a horse called Kilcoleman, and we fell at the first fence. As a result of that, I wasn't able to ride the next day, and my favourite horse, Paddy Bowler, went on and won the Power Gold Cup with the late John Hartley riding it.
Well, I feel nervous for him going out because I know there's kind of pressure on him now, as before there wasn't.
Andrew, looking forward to this? Yeah, no, she stayed well, so hopefully she should be alright.
Especially on big festival days. I think there's far too much pressure put on. I think it is just with the amount of prize money now that the jockeys think they've got to win, you know, and it's just pressure on them all the time. I'd like to go, but I just couldn't, my heart wouldn't be able to do it. I prefer to stay at home. I'd stay out in the garden, and when I think the race should be over, I would come back in, or if the others were here at the time, and if he's doing well, they start screaming and I'd hear them. So I'd know he was going well and he was still up.
It's the end of November and the racing season is in full swing. In Navan, champion jockey Davy Russell has a full book of rides. It's a chance for him to get some wins and stress test some of Gigginstown's Cheltenham prospects.
Sunday's racing is a premier day of the week to go racing, like, you know, so the good horses are out, so you want to be making use of them. There's not much point finishing second and third on them when you've good rides. Don Cossack, yeah, it's his first run over jumps. It's an important one, like, but it should be pretty straightforward. But you never know, it's horse racing, like, anything could happen.
Of the 5 rides Davy has today for Michael O'Leary's Gigginstown, the first 3 are with trainer Gordon Elliott.
When I was starting riding out, it was fingers crossed, you know, hopefully this is going to go well. And like, I was riding nearly 4 years before I rode a winner, and the first winner I rode was only by chance. And then it snowballed after that. Like, the next week I rode another winner, and 3 days after that I rode another winner, and then people get notice you. Well, you need to be lucky. You need to get on good horses, and you need to be riding for good trainers and good owners, and you need to be in the right place at the right time.
Expectations may be high, but the day starts badly for Davy. The first 2 Gigginstown horses are well beaten.
You can lose a race and have ticked every box, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Look, that's okay, you know, that happens. But the races you lose, maybe when you feel that you could have done something about it, they're maybe a little bit more difficult to deal with. You just need to move on and try and find the next winner and erase the last one.
That is side, Don Cossack in between.
The next race is the much-anticipated season debut of Don Cossack. It may be the first time Davy has actually raced the young star, but pressure to deliver a win is building.
Gold in front, tracked by Don Cossack. Dotsdale Dawn is third and not for changing. Classic Event and Irish Thistle come next. Sizing Gold and Andrew Lynch, tracked by Don Cossack. And these two have stretched clear of Dotsdale.
The race rapidly becomes a straight shootout between Andrew Lynch on Sizing Gold and Davy on Don Cossack. Coming to the last, Davy takes control.
And Don Cossack now beginning to go a couple of lengths in front. Don Cossack over from Sizing Gold second, and on the climb up towards the finish, Don Cossack is going to maintain his unbeaten.
Davy's early morning relationship building at Gordon Elliott's yard has paid off. The Gigginstown horse delivers on his promise with an emphatic victory, marking him out as a horse for the future.
He was a little bit novice at one or two of his obstacles. Today he'll bring him on a lot, and I have a smile on my face.
And the day gets better. In the last yards of the next race, Davy drives on for a fine victory on Sword of Destiny.
Sword of Destiny now, and Davy Russell have taken over as Sword of Destiny wins for Davy Russell.
The feature race of the day is the Troy Town Handicap, with €52,000 in prize money on offer. It's a race Davy has never won, and with 4 Gigginstown horses entered, Davy is hoping that his choice, Torfino Bay, will prove the right one. After a grueling race, Davy has his horse in the perfect position for another win. But 200 yards from the line, he somehow drops his whip and finds himself in a battle to the finish with the British champion jockey Tony McCoy.
Strongly on the far side, Torfino Bay and Davy Russell, they're looking for the line as they go towards it. Torfino Bay, it's the battle of the champions.
When I did lose the stick, I needed to make sure I finished in front, no matter what happened.
The close-fought victory gives Davy a treble and caps a memorable day for the champion jockey and his owners.
Well, say well done, Davy. We'll bring you again, lads. Will you come again? No, we'll have more winners.
Today's a great day. Michael O'Leary, Gigginstown, love winning staying chases like the Troy Town. Love coming up with the likes of Don Cossack, keeping the dream alive, and the likes of Sword of Destiny, who was a nice hurdler last year and has taken well to fences. They're the type of horses that they like, and it's great for them to be successful today. The last thing I'll check at the end of the day is how much I made. Look, it's great, and I'm not giving it back, but I couldn't be any happier doing any other job. Since I've been 3 or 4, all I wanted to be is a jockey. That's like a young lad waking up saying he wants to be Superman and ending up being Superman. It doesn't happen. Days like today will wipe out all the bad days from your memory, all the broken bones, all the abuse thrown at you. Today I'm a king, but it'll only last today. Tomorrow I could be right back down, but I'm going to enjoy today, man.
Next week, Nina introduces the next generation of Carberry jockeys.
I'm not so good though. I don't know if I was ever that good.
And Davy and Andrew cross swords as their Gold Cup hopefuls put their Cheltenham credentials on the line.
That's
the dream everybody lives on. It's the guy breeding the horse at home, thinking he's going to breed a Gold Cup horse, and he's got a fair contender there.